Hello and welcome to White Glove Reviews. In this video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk a little bit about the most recent version of the Lorna Shine life deck that I rented to move from bronze up into silver and theoretically a ways into silver. So let me show you real quick over in Peak Monsters. These are the cards I rented, and you can check out the prices. Well, down to the active one anyway. And I want to say it's about 300 DEC worth of expenses, because I think I started today at 21, and I played about 30% through my capture rate, and so unfortunately, most of that was in bronze, so the return was kind of rough. So here's what I rented. And what I did is I came up with a little bit different rental strategy than I have done in the past. What I decided to try and do is I decided to try and figure out like small packages of cards that I could insert into a team. Like for example, and by the way, these two right here are noteworthy. Mylor and the Wood Nymph. I rented these just at normal level 1. And if you combine Mylor, the Wood Nymph, and where is it at? We need to have not playable. Here we go. Mylor, the Wood Nymph, and the Unicorn Mustang, which is one of the starter cards. If you combine these three cards, you have an amazing core of a team at bronze. And what my plan is with the rental of Mylor and the Wood Nymph, it gave me the option to basically, in any of the times when I couldn't play the Life Splinter, which I'd rented, I had them as a fallback. And I don't think there were many times when I wasn't able to use either the Life Splinter or the Earth Splinter. In bronze, it's not ideal if it happens, but it's more survivable if you don't have anything. And actually, I used the Mylor Wood Nymph some when I had moved into silver, and it still carried me along pretty well. So let me explain the packages that I picked. I ended up renting a gold level 4 Lorna Shine, and I just rented a couple of gold cards because they were the cheapest collection power to DEC, and it helped me get above the threshold. Like I just barely got over 15,000 collection power, which is kind of exactly what you want to do. So if we go back to cards and we look again at Rented to Me, and we add in the gold ones. All right, so let me explain what I'm talking about the different packages. So my first package is this right here, the Clay Golem and the Crystal Werewolf. And this package of 2 cards right here is my anti-magic, anti-Alric plan. And once you get into silver, you can actually extend your anti-magic, anti-Alric plan to include the Pelacor Conjurer, because when you get into silver, a fully leveled up Pelacor Conjurer has Magic Reflect. And so you can have him, have the Clay Golem, and have the Crystal Werewolf to basically silence your opponents and debuff their magic attack. And so these 3 are like the core of the anti-magic team. I also have a magic team, and the magic hit team is Jin Renova, the Lunarchy Mistress, the Temple Priest, and this is kind of surprising, but also the Divine Healer. That one little bit of magic damage that she picks up is really good. So like those, did I say Temple Priest? Yeah. These 4. The Jin Renova, Lunarchy Mistress, Temple Priest, and the Divine Healer form the core of like my magic SWAT team. And you can, with these little like cores of teams, what you can do is you can mix and match a little bit. Like let's say you had 4 extra, you could throw in a Venari Crystal Smith, and just basically even up the, like, you pick up a little bit range damage, you get more healing. Or if you had 1 left, you throw in a Silver Shield Bard, and she can suck up a hit and maybe cleanse something. And also, because you're playing Lorna Shine, you throw in your mighty Furious Chicken as often as you can, because the Furious Chicken just so amazingly does a wonderful job taking 2 hits. Now, I also got a Sandworm because I think you always need to have access to a Sandworm just in general. The last team the last little SWAT team that I made out of this was it was based off the Silver Shield Knight. So the Silver Shield Knight gives all friendly monsters +1 melee attack. And so if you combine him with the Feral Spirit, which is a 3-mana sneak attack for 2 damage, which moves up to 3 damage, and then the Cave Slug with Opportunity, where his 3 damage moves up to 4 damage, and the Superstar is the Silver Shield Assassin. She is incredible because her 2 damage moves up to 3 damage, and she has sneak attack and double strike, and she just destroys the back row of so many teams. Now, there's a couple other ones in here, like I mentioned the Sandworm. The Silver Shield Sheriff, I like him because when you have a super high point battle, you can kind of just throw him in. And at maxed out silver, he has snipe and piercing. So his 4 damage is pretty brutal. I mean, he tends to cut through like weak magic creatures and that kind of thing and just kind of clean them up. So that's the overall plan with this. And it cost about 300 DEC in that ballpark, maybe 250, 300. And so far, I started at 500 rating because I kind of been, neglecting this account and not really doing anything with it. So I started at 500 rating and I'm up to 1388 and I burned 30% of my capture rate. And I've made back probably maybe 125. And I think what I'm going to do is I have a while left on this rental. I probably have like 22 hours or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my capture rate recover a little bit and basically run the capture rate back down tomorrow to recoup my investment. I was also able to finish 2 quests. I got a neutral quest and I had a life quest that I had stacked up from before. And, well, neither of the quests was particularly spectacular. I think I might have gotten a few DEC, and I got a rare and a common card, I think. So nothing earth-shattering. I do, however, want to show you a couple of battles with this particular team. Now, the first battle I want to show you, this is the Magic team versus a Magic team. So this is an Auric, and based on the name, I wouldn't be surprised if it's an Auric bot. But this is my Magic team against the Auric Magic team. And, well, you get to see the power of the Pelacor Conjurer and also Lorna Shine's Divine Shield ability, just taking the hits. And as you can see, the Pelacor Conjurer, he's responsible for a reasonable amount of damage, and he also takes out the 2 1 health magic creatures in the back. So, yeah, it's a pretty quick, pretty painless kind of fight. Now, the next one I'm going to show you is a melee fight. And this is using the melee team. Now, this is really not much of the melee team. This is mainly the Silver Shield Knight and the Silver Shield Assassin. And there's a little bit of healing, and the bards in here really just for filler. So let's take a look. Now, this wasn't a very high point battle. Actually, it was 20, so we both spent some points. But, again, the Assassin just does so much damage. It's like taking out 2 in the back row on her first go is just amazing. And then as you can see, like the Divine Shield is sucking up hits from, sucking up big hits, if you think about it. And that takes care of that one. Now, this last one is a much more involved battle. This is a bigger, higher point battle for the melee team. And their team is a bit melee as well. My melee team, I'm using just the generic free starter card Shield Bearer. I don't think he was necessary. I didn't think him or the Luminous Eagle were really worth maybe renting. I'm debating about renting the Luminous Eagle leveled up, like a level 4 one. But for the purposes of this, I really didn't need it. And then again, we have the Silver Shield Knight, the Feral Spirit, Silver Shield Assassin, and we picked up the Sandworm just for a little extra damage. And this the boost to the melee attack just does so much damage. That combined with the Silver Shield Assassin, I mean, she just eats through the back line. I mean, I'm very impressed with her. The one thing that makes me really sad is most of this team that you're looking at isn't going to be legal and modern. Like, none of these three will be modern legal, I don't think. Let's check real quick. I'm curious about that. Let me make sure. Cards granted to me. Yeah, that's not going to be legal. It's like not legal, not legal, not legal, and not legal, not legal. And so we're losing a lot. We'll be like, this team will lose a lot for modern. You'll lose these right here, that one, that one. You keep Cave Slug, but that's a big core of it. You keep the Pelacor Conjurer, but yeah, you lose these. Sad thing is, like, the Earth team is going to lose the Wood Nymph, which is going to be painful unless there's a level 1 tank heal replacement. Keep Mylar, which is good. Anyway, I hope this update of my new Lorna Shine rental strategy is helpful to some of y'all. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know down in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I hope y'all have an excellent day.